Hello students, welcome to Chemistry Online Classes lecture number 16. In the last class we are learning about the dependence of rate of reaction on temperature, and also we have completed collision theory of chemical reactions and effect of catalyst. Some diagrams we have drawn in last class, namely energy profile diagram for endothermic reaction in which delta H is positive, HR is greater than HP. Exothermic reaction, delta H is negative, HR is smaller than the HP is smaller than the HR. Then distribution curve, energy among gaseous molecule, that most probable kinetic energy, that representation, and this distribution curve which shows temperature dependence of rate of reaction. One distribution curve at Tk, we have noted activation energy on the x-axis, and we have seen the fraction of molecules having energy equal to or greater than activation energy at Tk. One more curve at T plus 10K, we have additional number of molecules which are energetic, activated. They are nearly 2 times, that's why rate of reaction increased by 2 times. We have written explanation also for that. Then we have started learning about the Arrhenius equation. Rate constant K equals to A is the Arrhenius factor, frequency factor, pre-exponential factor. E is the base of natural logarithm. The value is 2.718. A is activation energy. R is the universal gas constant, and T is the absolute temperature. We can convert this equation in this form. The natural log of rate constant is equal to minus A by R, 1 by T, plus natural log of A. This is equation follows the straight line equation, y equals to mx plus c. We have drawn that graph. The slope is being equal to minus A by R, and the intercept equals to natural log of A. We can convert this to the base of 10. Log K equals to minus A by 2.03 R, because this natural log we have converted to the base of 10. That's why this factor is appearing here, 2.303 R 1 by T log A. Again the straight line equation, y equals to mx plus c. So slope is equal to minus A by 2.03 R, and intercept is equal to log A. If we have two temperatures T2 and T1 such that T2 is greater than T1, the rate constant K2 is at temperature T2, which is greater because temperature is greater, T2 is greater than T1, so K2 is greater than K1. Natural log of K2 by K1 equals to A by R, T2 minus T1 divided by T1 into T2. We have derived also into 3 steps, but that derivation is not needed. We have converted this equation to the base of 10 now, log to the base of 10, log K2 by K1 equals to A by 2.03 R, T2 minus T1 by T1 into T2. Then this equation is the outcome of collision theory of chemical reactions, which is based on kinetic theory of gases, assumes that reactant molecules are hard spheres and ignores their structural aspects, which is drawback of that theory. If we have reaction A plus B gives product A and B, that is elementary reaction, bimolecular reaction, then rate is equal to P, which is called as probability factor, orientation factor, steric factor. The molecules which are colliding, they should collide in such a way that their orientation should be proper. If it is improper, they just bounce back. This ZAB is nothing but collision frequency, number of collisions per second per unit volume of reaction mixture, and this e raised to minus A by RT is nothing but fraction of molecules having energy equal to or greater than activation energy, also called as Boltzmann factor. This factor is, and this factor, it has the same meaning. Then we were learning about the effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction. 3-4 sentences we have mentioned that catalyst is a substance which increases the rate of reaction without itself undergoing any permanent chemical change. We have given the example 2 moles of potassium chlorate dissociates in the presence of manganese dioxide, which is catalyst here, 2 moles of KCl plus 3 moles of dioxygen. The manganese dioxide, if we do not use, the decomposition occurs. It doesn't mean that it does not occur. It occurs, but at slow rate. The manganese dioxide increases the rate of particular reaction. If substance decreases the rate of reaction, we call it as inhibitor, and the action of catalyst can be understood on the basis of activated complex theory, also called as transition state theory. And according to that theory, the catalyst forms temporary bond with the reactants, results into one transitory state, unstable, highly energetic, called as activated complex, and it decomposes into the product. Now this diagram we have to concentrate. This diagram we have not drawn in last class. This is the effect of catalyst on rate of reaction with the help of potential energy diagram. So this is the potential energy we have drawn on y-axis. Reaction coordinate, remember this word reaction coordinate is nothing but progress of reaction, how reaction occurs from reactant to product. So here is the reactant energy wise, it has their energy. Then this is the activated complex, and then this is product, and we know that this difference in energy is called as delta H of the reaction. Now when there is no catalyst, this is the reactant, this is the activated complex, and this is the product. If the reaction takes place, same reaction takes place in presence of catalyst, the reactant, they have same energy, product, they have same energy because they are chemical substance after all. But this activated complex, which is transitory, which decomposes into product, its energy has been decreased. So in one sentence we should say that when we use catalyst, it is believed that catalyst decreases the activation energy between reactant and product. It is not only decreasing the activation energy of reactant, it is also decreasing the activation energy of product also. This feature of catalyst we should know, because this has been decreased, so this part also decreased and this part also decreased. Initially the activation energy of backward reaction is from this point to this point, but now it has been reduced from this dotted line to this product. So it reduces activation energy between reactant and product, and it lowers the activation energy. What will happen if activation is lowered? The rate of reaction increases. Why? Because many molecules now activated. For example, if we say that this is the higher activation energy and this is lower activation energy, those molecules which are having energy this much, this part I am showing, this energy, they are not eligible to enter into activated complex if activation energy was without catalyst. If passing marks are 50, then less students will pass. If passing marks are 35, those students who got mark between 35 to 50 also eligible to get passed. If we reduce again the passing mark from 35 to 25, more and more students are passed, like that. So the potential energy barrier we are decreasing. More and more reactant molecules are now eligible to take part into the bond formation, and that's why rate of reaction increases. So in one sentence we should say that it is believed that catalyst gives the reaction new pathway. This is new pathway, new reaction mechanism, which decreases the activation energy between reactant and product by decreasing the potential energy barrier. We can easily say here the activation energy with catalyst is lower than activation energy without catalyst. This magnitude is lower than this magnitude. So as activation energy has been decreased, rate of reaction has been increased. So this is the way in which we should explain effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction. If question comes for 2 marks, we have to draw this diagram. Diagram is very important. You lose your marks if you do not draw this diagram. Very simple. We have drawn these profiles, endothermic, exothermic, same type of profile. Only with catalyst and without catalyst we should differentiate. And the labeling, potential energy, reaction coordinate, reactant, activation energy without catalyst, activation energy with catalyst, and the product. And this delta H. And this path without catalyst and with catalyst. The way in which the activated complex decomposes into product, that particular part is changed by the presence of catalyst. So only 2 mark question is not at all difficult questions these are, but we should able to represent it in a proper way. There are many technical words, we should use them correctly in the correct sequence, then only your answer will carry weightage. So this is all about the effect of catalyst. Now we have to mention some properties of catalyst also, because that also is there in our syllabus. So I will just write 4 properties here. Characteristics of catalyst, will say. Characteristics of catalyst. The first one we can say that small amount of catalyst can catalyze large amount of reactants. The catalyst is not needed in large amount, only small amount is sufficient for catalysis of large amount, because they won't consume into the reaction as the reactant. Next one, we can say that catalyst catalyzes spontaneous reaction. Spontaneous reaction does not catalyzes non-spontaneous reaction. If reaction is to be spontaneous, it will be spontaneous. Means how to judge that? We know the criteria, delta G should be negative. It doesn't mean that those reactions which are not spontaneous can be completed with the help of catalyst. Remember this very important point. It increases the rate of reaction only if it is possible, if reaction is feasible. If reaction is not feasible, the catalyst won't make that reaction feasible. Otherwise, our whole understanding of chemical reaction will change. That will be different thing. But catalyst only catalyzes those reactions which can otherwise takes place without the presence of catalyst. It only increases the rate of reaction. If reaction won't take place, it won't take place even in the presence of the catalyst. So it does not catalyzes the non-spontaneous reaction. Does not change. It does not change delta G free energy change. That's why I said if it is positive, it will be positive. The catalyst won't make it negative. Delta H of the reaction. Look at this diagram profile. We have used the catalyst and we have seen the both profiles without catalyst and with catalyst. But this delta H remains same because position of reactant and product remains same. Energy wise, reactant and products are same. So that's why delta H will not be changed. It means if reaction is exothermic, it will be exothermic. Catalyst won't make it endothermic reaction, exothermic reaction to endothermic or endothermic to exothermic. That role is not played by the catalyst at all. And then we can say that catalyzes forward and backward reaction, forward and backward reaction to same extent. It is not partial, that it only makes the forward reaction to happen with greater speed and reverse reaction to happen with the lower speed. It doesn't, because it lowers the activation energy of forward and backward to the same extent. That's why this point is important. It does not specifically only increase the rate of forward or backward. That's why in equilibrium when we were learning the Le Chatelier's principle, we changed the temperature, we changed the pressure, we changed the amount of reactant and product to disturb the equilibrium. But we never used the catalyst to shift the position of equilibrium. So we can say that position of equilibrium remains same. It is reached earlier. Only it increases the speed of both forward and backward. So it allows the equilibrium to attain earlier. Once equilibrium is attained, we can disturb it by other factors and we can push the reaction in the forward direction. In that way, we can use the catalyst. But if we are using catalyst by intention that only forward reaction rate will increase and not the backward, this is not the way, this is not the work catalyst does. So these are some 3-4 important properties of the catalyst. We'll come across these properties once again in the topic name called surface chemistry. But this in first year also we mention these properties about the catalyst because we should know what catalyst can, what role catalyst can play in a reaction and what it cannot do. So we should know this. That's why we have listed these properties. So again, this part we have completed about the effect of catalyst on rate of reaction. In simple sentence, the rate of reaction increases by use of catalyst because catalyst decreases the activation energy. Lower the value of activation energy, higher will be the rate of reaction. That is the main sentence into it. So we should be very careful in using these sentences. These are very technical words. First time we are using these words, that's why I have written on the board so that those concepts will be clear to you, and then these characteristics also I have just now explained. Now some last type of numericals we have to solve, and these numericals are of course based on the Arrhenius equation. Again, equally important part because we cannot ignore any part into which is included in our syllabus. So formula list I have already made. Now we'll solve one by one question here. So the first question I'll write on the board. The first question is, it is in text question 4.8. Rate of chemical reaction, I will make it short now because we did not write again rate of reaction. Doubles means increases 2 times, doubles. For increase of 10 Kelvin temperature, 10 Kelvin in absolute temperature, because capital T we are using, from 298 K, calculate EA. Calculate EA, activation energy we have to calculate. Now what information we have given in this question, we can easily see that there is increase of 10 degree or 10 Kelvin temperature from 298 K temperature. So we can say that T1 is 298 K, T2 is 298 plus 10, which is 308 K, and they said rate of reaction has been increased by 2 times. So K2 is nothing but 2 times of K1. If it triples, but write K2 is equal to 3 K1. If it is quadruples 4 times, we should say that K2 equals to 4 K1. They have said it doubles, so we have written like this. Then R value generally they give in question 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. and they ask what is the activation energy. So we can use this formula, log of K2 by K1, final form of Arrhenius equation, EA by 2.303, this gas constant R, T2 minus T1 divided by T1 into T2. This is the final form we are using. Now we can substitute here. K2 is 2K1, so log 2K1 by K1 EA, this is 2.303, 303. Then this R value we can substitute now, 8.314. T2 is 308, T1 is 298 divided by 298 multiplied by 308. So this K1 we can of course cancel. So you can write this EA equals to log of 2 multiplied by 2.303, 8.314, 298, 308 divided by, this is 10. So even though many calculation terms are there, we should not worry about it, because we can use calculator, and in MCQs they will give such numbers which are easily divisible. Only we have to keep our patience and write everything clearly. Log 2 is 0.3010, 2.303, 8.314, 298, 308, and this divided by 2. We can use calculator for that. Last step, what answer I have here, I will write it as 52897. Now look at the unit which we are getting here. I just rub this part. This log 2 is number, no unit. 2.303 is also a number, no unit. 8.314 is joules per Kelvin per mole. 298 is absolute temperature. 308 is also absolute temperature. And this divided by 10K is also absolute temperature. So you can cancel this K. This K raised to plus 1 and K raised to minus 1 we can cancel. And we can write this as joules per mole. If number is large, we can make it kilojoule also, and we can write this as EA equals to 52.897 kilojoule per, like this. So this is the very simple question. Very carefully we have to read, apply correct formula, substitute correctly, and have a patience. In the last step only use calculator. Don't do this simple calculations here at one step, at another step, because only once if you do calculation, your time will be saved and your possibility of mistakes also can be minimized. So this is the first question in this Arrhenius equation part. Now we will quickly go to the next question, because these are very simple questions compared to the previous questions. So I will take next question now. This question is from textbook exercise. Next question is from textbook exercise 4.30, and this question number 2. The question is, rate of reaction quadruples, means increases 4 times, quad means 4, when temperature changes from 293K to 313K, calculate activation energy assuming that it does not change with temperature. So in previous example we said K2 is equal to 2K1. In this example we have to say K2 is equal to 4K1 because of this word quadruples. This is the initial temperature T1, this is the T2. If we know the relation between K2 and K1 and T1 and T2, it's very simple. Once again I will not solve this. Here log 4 will come, which is 2 times of log 2, which is 0.6021, and all this 2.03, 8.314, instead of this 298, 293, instead of 308, 313 will come, and the difference between them is not 10 but 20, and you will get the answer. So what I am planning here, that we should take this question as the homework question, because very similar question just now we have solved. I can write the answer for this question so that you can verify it. It is 52.863 kilojoule per minute. This is the answer for this particular question. So you have to copy this question, and this question is homework for you, because very simple question. The unit of activation energy should be very much clear to you. Many students get confused in that unit. You can keep it at joule per mole or you can convert it into kilojoule per mole, that doesn't matter. So this question number 2 we have already written, and I hope that you will complete this in a homework. Now I will write the next question that will solve here. Now it is from textbook, exercise 4.26. The decomposition of hydrocarbon follows. Question number 3 now. Decomposition of hydrocarbon follows equation K equals to 4.15 into 10 raised to 11 per second. Write this whole part here because it requires more space. K equals to same 4.15 into 10 raised to 11 per second, e raised to minus 28,000 K by T. Calculate EA. So in this question we can write that comparing with Arrhenius equation, K equals to A, e raised to minus A by RT. So if they ask calculate A, we would say this is A, pre-exponential factor, before exponential form. But they said what is activation energy? So activation energy is in this term, and it has value this much in the question. So we can say minus EA by RT equals to minus 28,000 K by T. we'll see why this k is important here. We'll just cancel this first negative sign, and this t and this t, and we can write this as EA is equal to 28,000 K multiplied by this gas constant. 28,000 K multiplied by 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. Now you can understand why this K is given in the question. So that K raised to 1, nothing is written, means 1, and K raised to minus 1 we can cancel, and only joules per mole remain, which is the unit of activation energy. So if we multiply that 28,000 with 8.314, what answer I have here is 232,792 joules per mole, which is nothing but 232.792. We can write like this in kilojoule per mole. We have to divide this by 1000, so that decimal point comes here like this. So we are comparing this standard Arrhenius equation with this equation they ask. If they ask calculate A, would have said this is nothing but A. A value is 4.15 into 10 raised to 11. Remember, A has same unit as the K, because A is kind of frequency factor, number of collisions per second per unit volume of reaction mixture. So this is question number 3. Now we'll go ahead and we'll see the question number 4 now. It is question number 4.9, in text question it is. So we are solving those which are given in our textbook first, because they are important for us. So textbook, this is in text now. In text it is. Almost all questions solved in text. 4.9. 4.9. The question is activation energy. This is question number 4. Activation energy for the reaction 2HI in gaseous state gives H2 in gaseous state and I2 in gaseous state is 209.5 kilojoule per mole at 581 K. At 581 K. Calculate fraction of reactants having energy equal to or greater than activation energy. Now we know that fraction of reactants having energy equal to or greater than activation energy, this term is present in Arrhenius equation. K is equal to A into e raised to minus A by RT. This is the term for fraction of reactants having energy equal to or greater than the activation energy. So you can say e raised to minus A by RT is equal to K by, just we transport this A here. It is just number fraction of molecules per second unit get cancelled. Now we can write this as log of K by A equals to minus EA by RT, because log E is equal to 1. So we can say K by A equals to antilog of minus EA by 2.303, because yes, it is 2.03 is needed here, because we have converted this to the base of 10 here. 2.303 multiplied by our RT. Then we can write antilog 209.5 will multiply it by 1000, so that it becomes joules per mole. 2.303, 8.314, and look at the temperature, 581. They have given that, yes, here 581. Then if we simplify this, it is the antilog of, just do this calculations using simple calculator, it is negative 18.8323. Now how to see the antilog of this negative term? Last year in equilibrium, when you were calculating the concentration of H plus ion, you come across this type of step. What we should do here? Antilog, we should add 1 to this digit which is before decimal, 18 plus 1, 19. We should put bar on it for this negative side. As we added 1 here, this 8323 should be subtracted from 1. So 1, 8323, we should subtract it to the remaining number after the decimal point. It is 7, it is 3, so it is 7, it is 4, so it is 6, it is 9, so 1, and this is 0, so it is 1677. Now we have to see the antilog of 0.16277 in the log table. 16277. How to see 0.16277? I have here a log table, this antilog page. 0.16 we are looking into 0.16, 0.167 is 1469, and 7 mean difference, 2 I have to add. 1469 plus 2, 1471. So I will write here as 1471. After one digit we have to put the decimal point, and then we have to multiply. We have to write 10, this negative sign as it is, and this number 90. So what we are getting here is 1.471 into 10 raised to minus 19. This is K by A. This is the fraction of molecules having energy equal to or greater than the activation energy. So this is the answer. So this we have to add 1. After this decimal point, 4 digits are there, we have subtracted it from 1. The number is written. Antilog of 0.1677, because antilog can be seen only after this decimal point. We get 1471. After 1 we put decimal point without looking into this number. Multiplied by this bar, we have to put negative sign, and below bar 19 is written, so it is 90. This is the way in which these calculations can be made. Now we'll go ahead. These very simple questions. These are not that much difficult. You have to practice it once. Again and again I am saying that. If you practice numericals, then only you can solve the similar numericals. Otherwise, it is difficult. They seems to be simple, but they are not simple. So next question is question number 5. We are solving. The slope of the line, in the graph, slope of the line in the graph of log k versus 1 by t for a reaction is 5841, negative 5841. Calculate activation energy. We can say that log of k equals to minus EA by 2.03 R 1 by T plus log A. This is the equation, Arrhenius equation, one of the form of this Arrhenius equation. Y is equal to mx plus c. Already graph is known to us. This is the value of slope. So negative EA by 2.303 R equals to, slope value is given 5841. We can cancel this negative sign and we can write EA equals to 5841 2.303 8.314. This for R. I have just transferred this here. And if we multiply this is 1.118 into 10 raised to 5 joules per meter. So this is the activation energy. So this is question number 5. Right, so I will just give one question as the homework and some more questions we will solve in next class. The question has been asked in theory syllabus. In a zero order reaction, time taken to reduce the concentration from 50% to 25% is 3 minutes. What is time required to reduce concentration from 25% to 12.5%? This is the homework question for you. Very simple, not related to this one, just general question because it has been asked previously in examination. That's why I have given. You have to solve this one question and the rate of reaction quadruples. These two questions I have given you as homework. I hope that, as usual, you do your homework. Right. Thank you for watching.